Special episode of Gaming Narratives. My name is Chris and I am your gaming librarian. So I'm coming to you today with a special Gaming Narratives focused on the E3 2021 Nintendo Direct that Nintendo put up this morning. So sorry for the slight delay. There had been requests from Nintendo themselves that streamers do not mirror the stream directly as it was going on. So what I will do is after this fact, when I'm loading up the video, I will put the link to the full Nintendo Direct presentation under the description for this video, as well as on YouTube. And in the meantime, what I will be doing is just taking a couple of minutes today to go over some of the big highlights that stood out for me during this Nintendo Direct presentation. Honestly, if I were to give this a rating, I would definitely give it a solid A+. It answered questions that I was looking for, including what's coming out during the rest of the year, what games to be excited for, and, gotta leave it to Nintendo during E3. There's always a couple of surprises that you never in a million years would have expected to see, and yet here they are. So I'll just start off with the biggest one and biggest reveal of today, and that is the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And so we get the ambient setting to this game, something that we've all been looking forward to. And so, as we can see, Link is floating down. The gliders made it back. Interestingly enough, and I cannot help but notice with Skyward Sword HD coming out next month for the Nintendo Switch, how much of a play there is on the gaming world itself. And the idea that the sequel to Breath of the Wild, we're now starting to get a little bit more atmosphere and game environment up in the air and not just down on the ground. Maybe it's harkening back to Skyward Sword. Maybe there will be a deeper connection that we don't know about. Whatever it happens to be, this has been hugely exciting news to finally see. The last news we got on this title and any gameplay was from 2019, 2 years ago, during the last E3 presentation that Nintendo had. And naturally, the big reveal itself was that the title was coming in 2022. Well, a bit sad that it's not going to be a holiday title. All things considered, with it being, a global pandemic still across the world and development likely not being a very easy task to do in the global climate that we're living in right now. I'm happy to have a 2022 title that I know I'm going to play the living heck out of. So please let me know in the comments, in the chat, are you excited for the new Breath of the Wild sequel? We still don't have an official name. So for right now, I like to think of it as Breath of the Wild 2 or BOTW 2. But certainly something to look forward to say the very least, and makes me even more pumped for Skyward Sword next month. Now this next trailer has been a long time in the making, so as I was watching this, the first immediate thought I got was, okay, new Metroid, sweet, this is incredible, but wait, this feels a lot like Metroid Fusion. Why is that? And so I had done a little bit of sleuthing after the Nintendo Direct, and I discovered that this is actually the conclusion to the Metroid Fusion saga. And so this was a game that was meant to come out, many suspect, for the Game Boy Advance. It had been hinted at in Metroid Prime 3, but then had laid dormant for a very long time, until now. So a nice throwback to the 2D side-scrolling nature of Metroid Fusion itself. Hello, Luscious Fox Gaming. Yes, perfect time It was a short trailer, but they gave us a little bit of the tease and gave us a real feel for the fact that this is the proper 2D, 3D sequel to Metroid Fusion. One of my personal all-time favorites in the Metroid series. I would say Fusion first, Super Metroid, and then the Prime series. For myself, though, I know many will disagree. But truthfully, just seeing this was such a relief. And right at the very end, we get the release date. And so this is going to be an October 8th release. So something to tide us over during the holiday season. So what I really enjoy about this is right after the fact, they showed that there's going to be amiibos coming out, a double pack with the Samus amiibo and the ME amiibo, so E.M.M.I. Very creepy robot, but I cannot wait to play this game. So, Metroid Dread getting a little bit of a long-awaited conclusion to a fantastic trilogy that started with Fusion, continued with Metroid Zero Mission, and is now finishing with Dread. And a little bit of a palate cleanser to help keep us, satiated until Metroid Prime 4 properly comes out. Hopefully that may be an E3 2022 release. Yeah, so Luscious Fox Gaming comments that Fusion was so different from others. Yeah, it definitely was. It took the formula and sort of put it on its head because, well, Super Metroid was, a deep, fantastic exploration game with a sense of urgency, certainly towards the end. There wasn't that direness. There wasn't that, atmosphere of, okay, there's something hunting me and trying to kill me at any given moment. Whereas with Fusion, even with its simple pixel art, you had that ever lurking feeling that, oh, is the next room that I enter into going to be one where suddenly I can't move my character anymore because the clone is now hunting me down? It was absolutely terrifying for a GBA game. And so I'm hoping this keeps the same sort of atmospheric tone to it. And yes, definitely I'm glad that they are not ignoring anything that happened in Other M. Other M gets a bad rep, but definitely worthwhile. And sort of pays homage to the same engine that they used in Samus Returns for the 3DS. So nice to see that return. So going from terrifying and atmospheric to complete silliness, we of course have one of my absolute favorites, WarioWare.
Hey, what do you mean? Who am I? It's me, Wario.
And so, for those unaware of what Warioware is, you'll soon get to see it is an awesome, fantastic collection of minigames. So there's approximately 200 coming out in this collection. And as you can see with the little bomb in the bottom left corner, you only have 5 seconds to complete these absolutely ridiculous and harebrained tasks at hand. Often it pays homage to past Nintendo games. Apparently it has been hinted at that there's going to be references to both Fire Emblem and Splatoon in this game. So I cannot wait to see what it is that they are referencing from these games. With Fire Emblem, I do believe it's the tea parties.
Or else. Eh? Not nice. All right, you. Yes, you. The one watching this.
And
better get ready for
as you can see, for the first time in this series, you also have 2-player. So a great opportunity for co-op coming out September 10th. So a nice little, game to fill in that empty block. So right now, for big Nintendo title releases, we have Skyward Sword HD in July. We have No More Heroes on August 27th. And so that's No More Heroes 3, so the third in the trilogy. We have WarioWare Get It Together in September. Metroid Prime on October 8th. like it's a jam-packed holiday season for the Nintendo Switch for sure. So checking with Luscious Fox Gaming, yes, there definitely was Fear Infusion. Yeah, and definitely scared the crumbs out of me as well. And it's still one of my all-time favorite games. I like to bring out my 3DS and replay through it every 2 or so years, and I will put my headphones in and listen closely. The music holds up. If you have the opportunity and haven't seen Fusion, please go on YouTube, watch some videos of it, and if the imagery creeps you out, at least listen to the soundtrack. And yes, Luscious Fox Gaming, I'm going to hold you to it. We will need to get together to play some Warioware together. Hopefully, when I come down to visit, bringing along and soon to be baby Sophie, we can play WarioWare together. So, moving from the completely zany WarioWare to the completely zany RPG known as Shin Megami Tensei, we finally got a confirmation date for this title. And yes, Luscious Fox Gaming, your birthday too. Perfect time in September, actually.
But that reality
Good birthday party idea right there.
After you get pulled into a different dimension.
And so, for those unaware of Shin Megami Tensei, a long-going series, if you're familiar with Persona, it's all done by the same studio, Atlas. And so I've always considered Shin Megami Tensei to be the darker version of Persona.
Where angels and demons reside.
And a little more complex.
Suddenly, you fuse with a mysterious figure, gaining the power to fight demons. What lies ahead in this alternate realm?
And so, while this is gameplay cinematic, this
The world is now transformed.
or
into
that was
a
cinematic,
sprawling,
this is actual
demon-infested
gameplay.
wasteland.
And so, to me, this is an absolute showcase
Many are
of a
hostile.
title for Nintendo Switch. It's been a long time in the making. They did admit that this was announced when the Nintendo Switch was first announced, but it's nice to finally see it coming out.
Actions you can perform in a combo will increase. Though demons are formidable opponents, you may be able to recruit them via negotiations, which begin when you
And so,
open a conversation with
The
them.
cool thing about this, yes, thank you later, Luscious Fox Gaming, for coming out. And thank you. I like to think that it's good quality streams. And yes, see you later. And thank you for the happy birthday. And thank you for coming out for my birthday stream. It means a lot.
By rejecting
Lots of love.
request,
And I'll see you later.
they may feel motivated and join you as an ally.
So yeah, really quirky about this game. So really interesting enemies. Really interesting encounters that you have.
Another demon can be created.
And as I said, like the perfect balance to Persona. So if you've been playing Persona 5 Royal lately, then do yourself a favor and pick up Shin Megami Tensei 5 this November 12th. So awesome day for it to come out.
Challenge the many demons roaming this post-apocalyptic world by harnessing the power of your own. What destiny will you choose? Shin Megami Tensei 5 will launch exclusively on Nintendo Switch November 12th.
And so
Pre-orders for the physical version begin June 21st.
definitely a title worth keeping an eye open for. Once you can put down a pre-order, I would highly recommend doing so. So moving on to some of the next announcements. Sorry for the quick scroll down, but this was an absolute treat to see.
It's a blast from parties past, and you're invited. Ready for another round of Mario Party mayhem? Of course you are.
Originally
It's a
released
superstar
on the
collection of Mario
3DS back
Party
in
4
2017, we are now getting an HD
Live it up on
proper
5 classic
Switch
ports from the Nintendo
port
64 era,
of
including Peach's Birthday
Mario
Cake
Party
and Spaceland.
Superstars.
Each board is packed with zany events guaranteed to keep you on your toes. And when we say zany, we mean it.
And so, of course, bit of nostalgia for myself, having grown up with Mario Party 1 onward from the N64 days. The fact that this features 100 games from the N64 days, cannot wait for this.
You'll have a blast in this all-star fun fest. Here's a little party favor. All game modes work with
and it's online supported, so you can play with friends, which is really fantastic. If you enjoyed Super Mario Party, I would definitely recommend picking this one up, as it's an absolute blast to play.
Grab a snack, then resume the festivities. Stickers are also available to communicate with others. It's time to party in Mario Party Superstars.
So, as you can see, filling up October.
October 29th.
So we start the month of October off right with Metroid Dread, and then we end it with Mario Party Superstars. Talk about an absolutely stacked month for video games. And so, well, I said this would be a quick session. I did have one last game that I wanted to highlight. And of course, this was the one that I did not anticipate happening in a million years. If you were a kid in the early 2000s, you know this game well. And it is, of course, Advance Wars. Absolute amazing game. This is what made me fall in love with strategy games to begin with. This and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance were like the pinnacle of perfection for strategy RPGs for me. And so what they've done here is they have given it a up-res 3D approach. It's done by the WayForward team. So if you are familiar with those developers, WayForward is known for their fantastic action RPG series, Shantae.
As you lead the commanding officers to victory. Play the first two Advance Wars campaigns and
as you can see, the absolute treat about this is that it features both games.
Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
The original game is a treat to play. The second one was really where all the action happened. Your lieutenants got superpowers. It was a lot of fun, and really the ability to play multiplayer with friends, strategize, and conceive ways of sort of outing one another was always a blast to have. Now, I know I'm running close on time, but there is just one more treat that I absolutely had to share. But did not load up ahead of time, so I will bring it up very quickly. But this is what stole the show for me.
A new Game & Watch system featuring 3 games in the Legend of Zelda series is on its way.
The Game & Watch
Enjoy a classic
console.
Legend of Zelda experience.
So last year, if you were unaware, this absolute gem came out, and so this was the Game & Watch with Super Mario Bros. On it. So seeing this and suddenly it's Zelda, I was like, yes please. Link's Awakening, absolute classic. So if you haven't had the chance to play the 2018 remake of Link's Awakening, I definitely suggest it. But if you played that one, absolutely fell in love and thought, oh, this is the quirkiest game I've ever played, do yourself a favor and play the original Game Boy one.
In addition, regarding the watch functionality for the Game & Watch
as always, you get the fun, funky clock in the background, games that you can play, activities that you can do.
And an interactive timer themed after Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. You can play with both of them by taking control of Link. Game & Watch, The Legend of Zelda. Launches November 12th.
So definitely, if you're picking up Shin Megami Tensei 5 on November 12th, you owe it to yourself to check out this Game & Watch. And who was I kidding? There's always going to be one last thing, and this was the ultimate highlight of was the new character reveal for Smash Brothers. Let's find it directly from the source. Okay, so I will give credit to IGN for the trailer on this one during their E3 trailer reveal, and we'll watch it after the ad. So this is what started off the Nintendo Direct, and it was a little bit gritty. I'm like, what's going on here? That's Ganondorf. What's going to happen? Why does he look like he's unconscious and being tossed into a lava pit? And then I was like, wait, Tekken. And so, absolute fantastic franchise. Does not surprise me with Sakurai at all at the helm, being a big fighting game fan himself, to see respect and homage paid to this amazing series. And so, again, for all the videos that we watched today, look in the description. I will have links to all of them. So I found it cute and charming. The ARMS character, Ming Min, obviously being tossed in. The little shuriken arm still being stuck on the ledge. Of course, you watch this trailer and you're like, I cannot wait. Unfortunately, we didn't get any sort of specific date for when this character is coming out, so I'm hoping we'll get a little more of a reveal on that one later on in the next couple of weeks. But definitely excited to see this one come out. And my favorite part of the trailer. Because let's be honest, you can't kill Kirby. Alright, and so that was it for the Nintendo Direct highlights. Again, videos will be linked in the description. Please feel free to check it out. Overall, it was a 40-minute presentation, jam-packed with awesome games and things to look forward to from this point onward until the end of the year. I highlighted some of the gems that stood out to me, and so hopefully these will become some of your favorite classics if you haven't played them yourself. And yes, this has been a very special episode of Gaming Narratives and my birthday stream. Woot woot. But thank you to everyone who came out today. Luscious Fox Gaming especially, giant heart to you. And for all of those watching later on, thank you for tuning in and following along. It really means a lot. I've been doing this for a month and a half and have been having an absolute blast. And I look forward to sharing more love of gaming and all things Nintendo with you in the future. I hope you have a great night, and this has been Chris, the Gaming Librarian, signing off, and I'll see you tomorrow for a new episode of Intro to Gaming and Libraries, where I will highlight, of course, all the big games from E3 that you should be adding to your library collection, because I wouldn't be a gaming librarian if I did not have good references to give to you. All right, that is it. Library Chris signing off. Have a good night. See you later. Bye.